Right, well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another Rokk Show game stream. And right now I'm in the old First Descendant mode. You may have seen a couple of my recent First Descendant streams. And although this game's only a couple of weeks old, it's been a huge success. And it grabs you. Grabs you by the bits. Let's have a look and see what we've got here. I'll explain those in a second. As always, I'm not expecting a huge audience on a live stream at this time of the day. Most of you are living your life. The best life, I'm sure. And I hope. But the objective anyway is just a little recap to go over some of the stuff that I've learned over the last couple of weeks, give you an older guy's perspective of the First Descendant, which is, it's what we do. I do have chat in front of me, so I will see any messages, although they won't be coming up on screen, not in today's setup anyway. And if you're watching a little later, hello future you. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me in the future. If you are, you will be seeing in the top right corner a little icon, little graphic that says support First Descendants creators. And you'll see that I'm a registered creator for the First Descendant. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean they've given me anything, to be honest. The game is free, so they could hardly grease my palms with a game code. But what it does mean, hey Sanchez, hello my friend, thank you for joining, good to see you buddy. What it does mean is that if you support the channel by clicking on the link in the description, the first description for the First Descendant, and just register as a supporter, it goes in my favour. And I think I read that as a supporter, you may also get some goodies at some point. But don't quote me on that because it may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, here we are, a couple of weeks into the First Descendant. Where am I in this wonderful world of First Descendant? Well, I have 6. No, I don't. I lie. I have 4 descendants, and I'm trying to cook a 5th. So let's go and have a look. Access info. We have a look at the descendants, what I own, and I'll just show you the ones what I've got. There they are. So I've got Bunny, Freyna, Sharon, and Lepich, never quite sure. He was the one that I chose initially when starting the game. I then built Bunny, followed by Freyna, and most recently Sharon. They all do different things. This is the good thing about the game. They've all got special skills. Some of them cross over. Some of them, for example, Sharon and Bunny both have electric as their key attribute. Lepich and Blair have heat, fire, explosions, grenades, all that kind of stuff. And there are others that have specialist skills, like Sharon, for example, can go invisible. I see Sharon as kind of equivalent of a hunter, a destiny hunter. And a lot has been made of similarities between the First Descendant and Destiny. There are certainly similarities. Difficult, really, to be avoided, given that the premise of Destiny and First Descendant and Warframe and other games like Division are all very similar. They are ultimately looter shooters, with the goal being to build the perfect character, to get the max build for your kind of play style. But there are some quite key differences. For example, if we go back to that previous screen, have a look at all of those descendants. For example, we have, I believe, 14 normal descendants and 5 ultimate descendants. And in fact, if you go to the shop, there's even an ultimate that you can spend an immense amount of cash on. And all of these descendants have 4 or 5 individual skills with a kind of ultimate skill as well. So there are differences when you compare that to Destiny with its 3 characters and its 3 skills, character skills. So, there are differences. That said, there are similarities, as I've said, and definitely if you like a shootin' and a lootin' a la Warframe, then you're going to love the First Descendant. The other thing, very similar to Warframe with the First Descendant, is that all of your 3 weapons that you can carry, that's fairly standard in a game of this type. 2 that are your primary, your secondary, and then typically your kind of heavy that you keep in reserve for the massive damage. It's up to you. You don't actually have to play the Descendant that way. You can have 3 of the same game type if you want, but I wouldn't recommend doing what I've done, which is use the same ammo type. Just happens to be the way it fell, but it hasn't caught me out just yet. And then each of these weapons has a module, probably the most complicated aspect of the First Descendant. The thing you've got to bear in mind with this game is that truthfully it's just a massive database. It's all about maths, it's all about numbers. You're looking to get the numbers up, get your stats up. We can see here the applied stats on the left for the Thunder Cage Ultimate, which is my go-to. It's my primary. It has been for quite a while, actually. It's a submachine gun, and it has a special perk, if I can find it. There we go. Oh, no, wrong one. Must be... No, can't remember. We'll get to it at some point. But its special perk is to use an electrical shock, which can travel from the affected enemy outwards and take out a few at the same time. So really handy in a lot of the regions, not so much in some. I have the Divine Punishment. Now, to be fair, the perk for this game, this gun, is more for when you're running around with allies. It gives them a bit of a buff and can heal them and stuff. So if you're playing solo, not massively beneficial. However, it is a really good assault rifle, beg your pardon. And in fact, if you look at the fire rate of the Thunder Cage, which is a submachine gun, you'll see it's 666, ironically. Whereas this assault rifle, which should typically be a slower fire rate, is higher. So I tend to flick between those two. I could put a shotgun in there, or a scout rifle, all that kind of stuff. The Devourer. Yeah, I jumped in and Sanchez, by the way, sorry, everyone that's watching this in the future, I'll read the chat as it arrives because you can't see on the screen. Sanchez is saying he's just beat the Devourer yesterday. Hello, Liam. You've got echo in the sound, have you? Ooh, I'm sorry about that. I will thank you for pointing it out, Liam. Sanchez, why did you leave me echoing in there? Right, let me just zip over to OBS and see if I can fix that for you. Let's see now if I this. It's so difficult to fix these things in the after doofer. Let me go to there and boop. Is that better? Can you now hear me, or can you now hear the game and me without an echo? If you can let me know, that would be rather handy. And then I will sort myself out so that I hear myself differently. Yeah, so there you go. I should be able to hear the game and me, and you should be able to hear just the game with a bit of me without the echo. But let me know, and let me know if you hear that noise. Yeah, you should do. Yeah, that's better. Great stuff. Thank you, Liam. Appreciate that, my friend. I forget where I was now. Put me off my stroke. But anyway, here I am with. Oh yes, I was reading out Sanchez's chat message, which was that he beat the Devourer. Took 10 tries. Yeah. The thing about we'll talk about this a bit more later. I actually jumped in and helped a friend of mine do the Devourer yesterday as well. And the key thing is all of those colossi, as they're called, the Colossus bosses, they all have, which they're all down here in the Void Intercept battle, they all have individual skills. So the one that you had fun with was that one. I beat this one this morning, the Swamp Walker. I've got one more to do. Yes, it does. It really does. From Agna Desert, but White Knight Gulch onwards, Sanchez, the game ramps up in difficulty. I've got some tips for how I've handled that. One of them is always have friends. So here's N7 Spectres, who is ripping through the game with his mastery skill of 17. I have a mastery of 14. But he is a great player, a very skilled player, and he has access to another bunch of really skilled guys who play as a clan in Destiny. So if I really get stuck, I can send him a little message and ask if he can jump in and help, and he's always happy to do that as long as he's not in the middle of something. So that helps. But the other thing that I do, and what we'll do while we're talking about this, is we'll whip over to the fortress. So you can see on this map, this is a brand new region for me. I've unlocked 2 parts of it. I've got 1, 2 and 3 more to do, and then there will be an end of region mission followed by the final Colossus, which will then be the whole campaign completed. Anyway, we'll go there and I'll explain what I do to alleviate the pain, and specifically and particularly because this stream is aimed at cash gamers and older folk who kind of want to play but are maybe struggling to get through, or just are ignoring and avoiding because it's too difficult. Yeah, Sanchez, that's all part and parcel of destroying them. Sanchez says he enjoys climbing on the bosses and riding them. Yeah, grabbing them and then smacking the dickens out of them with R2 is really key. So anyway, this is a main outpost for this region, and you can come here and replenish your weapons. Quick tip, whenever you fast travel anywhere, whether that's between 2 fast travel points in the game or from Albion, see that person there? They were looking at me, seeing if I'm going to head up to that mission or one closer to it. And this is part of the tip, the next tip I'm going to give you. But before I do that, we can commence the first tip that I gave you. You may or may not notice, but when you first land in from a fast travel point, it sucks half your ammo away, or more in fact, about 2/3. So you want to replenish before you head out. There we go. I had 114 in reserve. I now have 300, and that carries across all the weapons. So when you teleport, don't just run off. Go and replenish your supplies, unless you teleport to a shortcut teleport like this one, in which case you don't get a choice. And then you're just reliant on killing stuff. Now, that young descendant that was looking back to see what I was up to, they were doing the next part of my big tip for all you folk who are looking for ways to get through this game. And the one big tip is that I never, once you get beyond White Gulch, which is White Knight Gulch up here, it's virtually impossible unless you've got an absolutely massive build to... Oh, that's all well and good, helping you to kill this dude. But It's no good to me. I see. This is a void. Oh no, I've been boxed in. That's the last thing we did. We didn't want to actually get involved in that one. No wonder that individual was looking for help. These are nasty. But what I do is, honestly, it's almost pointless. I'm just going to revive this one here, if I can. Oh, it's died. Almost pointless trying to take on these things solo unless you are an absolute demon player, because will take you out with a few hits. Now, I really don't want to do this thing. I'll help him as much as I can, but I want to do our missions. So what I do is I look for other players, and I will go and even stand by a mission start point and wait for people to come along. And you will see this, the later in the game that you progress, you'll see people actually waiting by those pinky purple mission points, or even just blue ones, and the blue ones are ones that you have tackled before. Let me just throw a grenade in so we can get those balls down, because although you can have a crack at it if you want to, but honestly it's so much easier if there are at least two of you, because it can help you revive or whatever. I'm going to just tell you in a minute what I do in terms of build as well. You'll notice my shield go down quite a lot. I've really not bothered to maximize on my shield. In fact, I don't worry about the shield at all. My build is all around health, HP. I switch to my machine gun. See if I can help this guy get this one down. Oh, he's put me in a box again. And my health, my HP, is set to a 420% multiplier. I've seen people with a lot higher than that, by the way, as a build. But what it basically means is that you can take a lot of damage. I'm going to get this one down now. Oh, look at that, I leveled up. Woohoo! Nice. We'll pick up, see if we've got anything half decent here. I don't think I've got the key to unlock this. It might let me, I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, I did. Okay. So when you do this, this is the key. We just unlocked that goodies box, and we're going to get one of these 5 items. We're sadly not going to get them all, but we will get one, and it is random, so we don't know what we're going to get. Let's just choose and see. One of those, and we got the piercing light blueprint. So if we were looking to build a piercing light, which is a gun, then that's quite handy, because we've now got that from doing that little encounter with that dude who's gone off feeling all happy. The good thing about this game is that everything is social. You're not damaging anybody. You can't damage anybody's progress. You can't mess up what they're doing. People will come along to help you out, which is really cool. Now I'm going to just try and see if this one would join me if I start this mission. I have no idea what this mission is, by the way. Gate System Control Network. Right, so it's teleported me over here. First thing I do is look around and see. I actually wanted to come in here with Sharon, which is my invisible friend. Luckily, we joined Thomas IPT. As you can see, just underneath my code up there. Look at that, I've run out of ammo already. Thomas, somewhere in this game, iBits Bear is over there as well, is tackling where we are. So that's what I do. Now, if I'd have came here, see, I've already run out of ammo in taking on that other boss. Right, let's go pick up some ammo. If I'd have got here and there was nobody here, I would probably have abandoned it, because it just gets too tough, quite honestly. Oh, there's our dude. Right, there you go. There's young Thomas. So, whoops. We're going to now, let me see, how are we? Got 17 seconds left to do whatever we need to do. Sometimes you're really lucky. There you go. And they've done the whole thing without you. Woohoo! Thank you, Thomas. Good man. So Thomas helped us out there. That's lucky. Now, of course, if you're a purist, you might go, "Oh, that's not fun. I didn't finish the mission. I wanted to do the whole thing. Well, it'll be on the map still. It'll be blue if we find our character. I think, let me see. Whoops, I'm getting shot at from somewhere. But you can always go back and read. Oh yeah, do you remember we got teleported in, didn't we? It's quite a long. It's quite a long area that this. There it is up there. So all we got to do is go back. I'll get stuffed. Something keeps shooting at me, and I can't see what it is or where it is. Yeah, so what we got to do is go and find that little mission. Start again if you are a masochist. I personally just want to get through them. You will, look, you're going to end up doing all these things again, because the key thing is, if I can just get myself some space. Let me just sit down here. Right, here we go. Let's go and have a look at the map. And as you mouse over these, you'll see main reward. Okay. Now these are all needed to build weapons or descendants at some point. So as you go to the access info, your Wikipedia, and you look at the characters that you're trying to build. I've got 1 and 2 components for Blair. And this one, if I click on acquisition info, is over at White Knight Gulch. So you're going to end up doing all this stuff again. I promise. Let's go and have a look, for example, at Ajax. Now, Ajax does have 4 components, but these are made up of individual materials. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 different tasks to gain these materials, and then have this built back at Albion. So, for example, silicon. Well, we've got a load of that. Let's not worry about silicon. We've got enough of artificial bio thing. We need some. Let's say we need another couple hundred helium or helium. So let's have a look and see where we can find that. And then here are the 4 areas, the 4 places. So we're in the fortress. We need to find some resource boxes, and that's going to unlock helium. That's kind of how it's done. So as you make your way around in the game, look at that, I've got myself locked. You will... Whoa! I'm going to hit the ground and die. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to do all this stuff anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much. For me, the main mission, the main task, the main objective is just to get all of those pinky things out the way. We just unlocked a new area, so we'll go over there. Long travel and replenish our ammo. Viessa, Sanchez is telling me he has Viessa, Bunny, Freya, and one of the guys unlocked. Working on the blueprint for another one. That's awesome, my friend. Yeah, Viessa is a really good one to have. She's the watery lady. I'll whip through this stuff so that it doesn't spoil anything for you. More than the fact that I'm already here at the end, in the final fortress. Let's replenish our materials. Excuse any bad language. But unfortunately, luckily there isn't a great deal. And I have turned off the music as well. There's typically music running. Just to let you know, sadly, there will be an advert in 45 seconds. I don't have a lot of control over it, but I can at least tell you that it's coming. There's a temporary waypoint or fast travel point just there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run off to unlock that one. Just means that you can, when you come back in to do these missions later to get your materials, you can fast travel there rather than back to the key point. Do-dee-do-dee-do. As you can see, this is a snowy region. It's very pretty. 9 seconds to the advert. I tell you what, while the advert's running, why don't you click on the link in the description and go and show support for this channel with Nexon, the developers. There we go. Here's that mission. We don't want that one. We want to unlock. All members are seeing me continuing. Why can't I get up there? That's where our... Oh, is that not a place that we can go to? Let's try. Sometimes these appear to be areas that you can jump to, but they're not actually. Let's try one more time. Yay, we're in. And there is what we call the dog, the fast travel point, basically, because he looks like a dog. If you come look at the map, you'll see just below me, there's a little green icon now. There's a person around here somewhere. LBTP. LBTP. Just grab that munitions for some reverse charging oil. So there's a mission down there. There's a mission over there. That's 2. There are only 2 in this region. Let's see. We've got this individual, LBTP, I believe. I believe it's them. They are doing that. Yeah, they're doing that void thing, which I'm not going to bother with. We will have to do it to unlock materials for some builds. There's Raven. So if Raven's up there, it's probably it. They are probably working on this one. So let's join that mission. We'll get in there with Raven. Here we go. Now, I don't know how far into this mission Raven is, but we have a buddy, and that's the important thing. They might be quite close to the end if we're really lucky. Move to the operation zone. That means look for the little green icon. There it is down there. We'll jump and then jump once more so we don't hurt ourselves. There we go. Raven's there already. You can do that one, my friend. And now we have to defend this blue area from nasties. Oh, I think Raven's done this before. He knows where everything is by the look of it. Let's switch to my other. Why am I stuck? Must have been against some of the architecture. Ah, you got it. Ruined my super. Right, pick up that stuff. Sanchez says he's been grinding Ghost, Strats and Nerds World. Sorry I missed you guys. Good to see you. Thank you so much. So I'll come back to you in a second, Sanchez. Ghost Strat says, how's the game? Yeah, I am loving it. I mean, it's my kind of game. You know, if you have any love for Destiny or Warframe, any of those kind of looter-shootery games, then it's going to be in your ballpark. To be fair, I've run out of ammo. Get out of it. There we go. So I've been playing about 2 weeks. I'm almost at the end of the campaign. I've leveled up 4 Descendants. I'm working on my 5th. Been around the clock a few times on a couple of them, which is what you're meant to do in a game. Get rid of that one. And ta-da! Mission complete. There you go. The benefit of coming in a little bit later than somebody else's game. Right, let's see what we got here. Nerds, well, good to see you as well, my friend. Thank you so much, guys, for popping in. It's I've recently registered as a First Descendant creator. Now, there are First Descendant creators who, to be fair to them, are streaming like a demon. Streaming like a demon. They're doing all the whole kind of First Descendant stuff. That ain't me, you know me. I'm much more of an impromptu guy. But I have to say, I believe there are advantages to showing support for a First Descendant creator. I think you get the occasional skin drop and that kind of thing when you log into the game. It's easy peasy to do. You just click the link in the description below, or you can go along to Nexon, the developers, and just support Rokk #8967. So the question now is, do I even attempt this next and final mission in this region? Because I'm looking around, there's only 2 other players. Raven, who's Ultimate Bunny, that's an achievement. And LGBTP, whatever they're called, who are doing the Void Fragments, so they're not interested in helping. So I could either wait here until somebody comes along, which does happen. Sometimes Sometimes you start the mission and they turn up. But from a casual perspective, I would definitely recommend not bothering to start when you get to this level, even though I've got a reasonable build. As I've said, my max HP is 416% of the normal. I've got a high 160% defense build as well. So that gives me some life. But this is a pretty tanky character. But having said all that, when you get up to this level in the later regions, as Sanchez was just saying, it can get quite difficult. We'll start it. You can always abort. If you want to abort any mission, just hold down settings and go to abort mission. It won't damage anything, but let's see what we have to do here. Move to the operations zone. We might be lucky. Somebody may join us. Now we've got to eliminate characters, nasties. They're called monsters in the game, interestingly enough, but I think that's probably more to do with the fact that it's a non-English speaking developer. So my shield always goes down fast. I haven't bothered to major on shield. That's after watching a lot of other creators that say it's not worth it. Concentrate on your HP and your defense. Defense is essentially how much you minimize the amount of damage from enemies. And you don't have to stay in the same area. I mean, see, there's some dudes down here. I wonder why I was getting here. Problem is, when you're in a mission with a lot going on, your radar at the top just kind of shows a consistent red everywhere, so it's difficult to know where everybody is. So pick all this stuff up, get all the ammo. I think we may have cleaned out most of them. If not, all of them. There's a couple over there. We'll just fire a grenade in. So it can be a bit disconcerting when you're focusing on an HP build, because your shield does go down quite a bit. And you're sort of like, oh no, my shield! And it's pulsating red and da-da-da. But that's fine. It's all part and parcel of the build. You just want to keep an eye on the HP. You get down to a quarter, you probably want to get out of there. They do drop health buffs, little red blocks. Right, let's put that guy. There you go. Switch back to my electric gun. Let's got him. That was a health. I think that was a health buff that he dropped. Basically, the red ones do your health. Blue ones do your MP, which is that blue bar at the base. It stands for mana, I believe, but it's to do with your attribute skills. Out of the way of that one. It's going to blow up. And then the white ones replenish your shield, but they come up very, very infrequently, which is why it ain't worth bothering with. Man, you want to get your shield, you want to get your health up and your defense. Which I do. And you see my health hasn't really suffered. Right, we've got some more dudes joining us by the look of things. Let's get a grenade into that one. Oh, right behind us. Now, these are exploders. That one will run at you. But he's okay, we'll take him out. It's the ones behind him that you want to watch out for, because they will take a big chunk of your health. Just get down here for a bit. We're going to need to... I tell you what. I'm going to switch to my machine gun. We'll just do a bit of a spray and pray. Oh, we've got challenge completed then. Here's a little tip for you. When you reload, if you roll like that... Oh, didn't quite finish it. There we go. Oh, no, I don't think it works with machine guns, having said all this. But basically, you can progress through the... Let's just get up here. I'm going to get back up and out of their way for a second. Pick up some of this crap on the way. Get our health back up. Use this to buff our health. There we go. Just get out of their way. You want to keep some distance from those enemies. You don't want to block yourself in. Anyway, it was taught to me that if you reload and roll, you cut the animation in either completely or down to quite a bit. They may have changed this in a recent hotfix, because I've not noticed it happening recently. They may have changed it so that you get that reload animation whether you like it or not. But you can speed that up with modules if it really is causing you any pain. Most of the time these guns reload fairly quickly. And they'll reload automatically as well. So, I mean, you know, we're all used to reloading manually, aren't we? Nobody wants to be left out of ammo. Like in Destiny and the Cabal, shoot the centre of their shields. That takes them out. The shields, I mean. Okay. Nobody's going to help us today. I've got to grab that bomb, this green thing, and attach it to this. Oh, we're at C. There's 2 more of these to do yet. Or at least maybe a D as well. Let's quickly go around and clean up for any ammo and such. Eliminate more enemies. Well, here they come. Right, so this one we've got to do. Try and keep some distance. Which we can see there's some behind us as well, so let's get out of here. Use your grapple hook. There's a mod that I've been trying to get for a while, which gives you a much longer reach on your grapple hook. But it's like a 2% chance of getting it. This is how the game works. Everything is... They don't mind. They don't mind if you're playing with a really massive buff character and stuff, because ultimately you've got to come up against random number generators, RNG, in order to get anything, any of the big mods, the big guns, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you might have to do a mission loads of times before you get that thing that you need, to build the thing that you need, to build the thing that you need. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, just, you know, while we don't have the advantage of somebody else helping us, just run around and give yourself plenty of space between you and the enemies. Get your shields up. Look for those little red capsules that will boost your health. Your shield will automatically go up over time. And use your attributes. See, that was a shield going down. I wish it didn't do that. Because it is, if you don't care about your shield, what I care about is my health. Yeah, Sanchez, getting that extra length grapple hook is a major leg up in this game, but it's so hard to unlock, to find it, the module. And even then, it's likely to be taking up a major module that I mean, I'll show you my module setup on this one once we've completed this. What are we doing on ammo? Not too bad. You may see that little blue bar there. It says we can attempt this 5 times. So we can die 5 times, basically. After that, we'll have to start again. Probably come out of the region, go back in again. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Using the electric, my electric attack on my primary weapon, because these guys seem to struggle with that. If I switch to my assault rifle, which doesn't have that, it does have a slightly faster. It does have a slightly faster fire rate, but it doesn't do the sort of damage that the little submachine gun does. Whoa, hello boys. Let's get the heck out of there. Here we go. Somebody's just joined us. Bruce and Sharon. Here we go. Excellent news. We've got two guys or two of people. I have no idea what their gender is. You can't tell in this game because you don't get a choice. And that's lucky because literally I've just run out of ammo as they've joined. So I don't know where they are, but they will be doing some. There they go. Here they come. Da-da-da, the cavalry have arrived. Would you allow me to pick up some ammo? Brilliant. Excellent stuff. Then we can get back into the battle. That's good news. Right, now we need to look for that bomb to blow up. I think we've probably maybe still got a few enemies to take care of. Yeah. Let's toss a grenade in there. Yeah, shield's always down, my friend. So what you need to do with anything like the grapple mod or any weapon that you're after is go to the Access Wikipedia, choose the little fella, and it'll tell you where you can get it from. And it'll invariably be a very low percentage chance, which will mean that you will have to run a mission over and over again, because it's random. You might be lucky to get it first time, or it may take you 100 shots. Now, some of those things, like modules, I don't believe you can buy them in the shop. You can skip the Descendants build, and you can skip some of the weapons as well. But modules and such, you're going to need to grind for those, which is, yeah, it's fine. But some of that stuff is expensive if you do go looking to buy it. Some of the higher end Descendants could cost you the thick end of $100. Yay! We did most of that ourselves. I feel quite proud. We did all right there. Whoops. There we go. Whoop. There we go. Just to let you know, I am playing this on GeForce Now. Very kindly, Ultimate account supplied by NVIDIA. Of course, the game itself is a free-to-play, so there are no codes are given. But we're streaming from NVIDIA GFN today, which means that I have everything on Ultimate. Playing on a 1440 monitor at 60 frames per second. I don't know who they just shot, but we may as well join in for the sheer crack. There's 4 of these dudes. Frozen Shipyard. So we've joined a mission, which may well have been one of the missions that we needed to do anyway. This typically counts way towards your need to do that mission, as long as it's on your list of missions that you need to do. So we may as well help. There's 4 of them. There's 3 of us here, plus 3 plus me. So we may as well take advantage of that fact. But the key thing, as I've said, is really to when you get to the later missions, is to look out for other people. That's the key. I mean, you can even go into their little chat if you want to. There is an in-game chat, and ask if anybody can help you. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm British, but I'm not very comfortable doing that. So I just tend to look for people doing the mission, or start it and hope that somebody joins. And if it gets too darn difficult, I think we probably would have been okay doing that last one, although we had at that point run out of ammo. What am I using for the heavy? Says Sanchez. I am using the Tamer, which seems to be the universally recommended machine gun. I've got mine. I always typically make sure that I keep my primary, secondary, and heavy leveled up. So I'm using the Tamer. It's a DPS 100, just under 102. It's an absolute beast of a machine gun. Quick reload, carries a huge amount of ammunition, as you saw. Do you know, I think we've already done this one, so we're not actually going to benefit. Do you remember we came in at this point in this mission earlier? So we won't tick it off our list of missions, but we are at least helping other people, which is fine. And it helps to get your XP up. So this character, as I mentioned earlier, this was the first one that I got. Your maximum character level, just let him shut up. Your maximum character level is 40. Once you reach 40 on your Descendant, it will not go any higher. So what you can do is you can reset it. You can take it back to level 1 and start all over again. Why? Well, firstly, it unlocks a module slot. I think you can go up to 10 maximum module slots, but you can also put an attribute skill code. They disappeared. Where'd they go? Anyway, it's worth doing it. And to be honest, if you go and do some of the special operations that I covered in an earlier video, as a for instance, let's get rid of these little random dudes that just appeared in front of us. If you're going to do a special operation, I crafted Sharon yesterday, or yesterday morning. I crafted Sharon, so she was a level 1 straight out the bat, brand new character. Took her down to Kingston to do one of the special operations, and I had her to level 27 within about an hour. So you can either run around and do missions and level that way just by, grinding, or you can go and do a special operation and repeat that one, get rewards for doing it, get gold or amorphous materials, that kind of thing, and level your character up pretty darn quickly. So young Lepic here has been around the clock once. There you go, he's at level 39, so I've only got one more to go, nearly there anyway, and that will be at 40 again. Also worth noting, let's just go back to base of operations here, because I can show you a couple of things and we don't want to get killed. Yeah, the thing, Sanchez says he was using a grenade launcher, he switched to machine gun. So grenade launchers do a massive amount of damage, but you only get 5 to 10 in your ammo, and then you've got to replenish it. So, horses for courses, I prefer the massive damage the machine gun does. So let's have a quick look at the old character. The first thing to point out is when you've been doing anything for a bit, you'll see these little red diamonds with an exclamation mark in, and do not ignore them. Not only because you may have picked up some amazing goodies, which we probably didn't in doing that, but you will also fill up your stuff pretty quickly as well. We're 415 modules out of a permitted 1,000. There's ways to clean your modules. You can't just go in here and delete them. You can't do that, as you can weapons and external components and reactors. But what you can do back at Albion is you can go and see a very kindly fella. I think he's called Cillian or Syrian. And he will either delete all your duplicates and give you this stuff, Kuiper shards in return, which you will need when you want to build up your modules. So you can see my modules set up here. This is the loadout that I'm running. I have increased defense, increased health, P, and stim accelerant. These are the 3 that give me the max HP and the max def that I'm running with. I also have nimble fingers, which I could, to be fair, level that one up now. Add some points to that one, but that one will get your skills cooldown down. You can take it up to about 30%, I think. It's -6. So back in Albion, we've got quite a few points available to us, 11 or 12 points. So we could take that one up. That could work quite well. Or we could look to add something else. MP recovery, for example, that's going to also reduce your skills cooldown. We could add a shield. Oh, 15, ain't going to do it. Yeah, we said we'd about 12, didn't we? So we could add increase shield. But I built that one and then realised there really isn't much point. You know, you concentrate on getting your health. So what I have here, look, is max HP, which increases my HP by 220%, or just under. And then I have Stim Accelerant, which adds another just under 200%, giving us that 416%. However, this one does come at the con of it reducing your max MP, which is the blue bar that gives you some of your skills. I personally think that's a worthy sacrifice to get 416%, and I'm sure there are other modules that we could use to increase this as well. I've seen people with a ridiculous amount of HP. The way to find out is go to search thus and just type HP. We'll see what modules come up. Oh, they're already here. So this is now showing us all the modules that have some kind of HP relevance. It's not always in the title, but if we have a look at an outstanding investment, it says it gives us HP heal of 7.4%. So we can increase the speed that we regain our healing. It also gives us increased skill duration. It's a pretty good one to have. In fact, I might add that one in a second. That was 7.4. This one has an HP recovery. Not quite sure what the difference is. I've always thought that HP heal is when you heal other people, and HP recovery is the speed that you recover. But I need to research that. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you guys know. Battle of Stamina, max HP, so we could increase a further 12%. If we add that one, nope, that's not going to go in because we've already got the C in the slot with maximuming. Can we add that one? Yeah, we can add that one in. So that increases our HP heal and our skill duration. If we want to, it's taken our capacity down. So we now have 4, 5, 6, 7 that we can add. What else? We've got increased HP. That won't, because we've already used it. HP heal. I'm not quite sure on this heal versus recovery thing. More heal. So what happens in this mod, as far as I'm aware, Sanchez, is whatever you put in there, it's a bit like, you know, the finisher in Destiny. It's a bit like a finisher. So you can put a claw, you can put a kick, you can put a short sword, you can put a shock punch. I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, quite honestly. It's more of an aesthetic thing than anything. And when I do my L1, L2, or whatever it is, L1, R1, it just basically punches, he kicks, or whatever. Just depends on, it's more of an aesthetic thing. That's at least my understanding of it. And on that basis, it probably does a bit more damage the more of that you put in there. But for example, let's go back to all of selective recovery, HP recovery, MP recovery. That's quite a good one. MP recovery's gone down a bit more, but our HP has gone up. Recovery, I think I'll take it out because it's still registered as 0%. So in other words, there's some stuff going on that's countering it, so it wasn't really doing us any advantages. We'll leave that one there. That gives us an extra 5% on our skill duration. So nothing really gained. Hit the push down on the left thumbstick to save. There we go, and come out there. And then in our weapons, all of these red diamonds, we pick them up. You can take forever looking for which weapons are good. First thing I always do is go to the blue, get rid of them. They're never going to give you any skill attributes, even if they're a high damage. The next thing I do is starting from the lowest level down the bottom. So 68, 72, so all the way up to 80. I will now look for those that have got all yellow specs, and they're a keeper as far as I'm concerned. And I might heart them, or I may not. And then I'm looking for them now. Anything that has all blue attributes, I will delete. It's of absolutely no advantage. You can roll and da-da-da, but I don't really use, I'm not using a launcher. So you could, for example, if you know you're never going to use a launcher, you could go onto weapons, choose launchers, and get rid of them straight off the bat. The only reason not to do that is if you have a really high level DPS launcher, because you can absorb it into one of your key weapons and increase the DPS. So watch out for that. But these are all fairly low down here, so I know I'm not going to bother with a hand cannon or a handgun, so I'll get rid of that one. I'm not going to bother with a sniper, even though you do a massive amount of damage. I'm just not skilled enough, so we'll get rid of that one. Beam rifles, not worried about those, get rid of those. Plus they use ultimate weaponry, and it's quite hard to get in-game. Tactical rifles are pretty good, but I'm not really that fussed. So let's just look for the ones that don't have any yellow attributes, and we'll kill those. The idea is to get your slots back up. So look, we have 98 slots, of which we're using 86. That will include all weapons, and it will include all reactors, these guys, and it will include all your external components. So for all of these, you've only got 98. In fact, I think when you start the game, you have much less than that. But each time you go up in a mastery rank, you get an extra couple of slots, basically. But we still have more weapons, way more weapons than we want. Now, I've already got my favourite submachine gun. I don't need another one. Even though the fire rate's pretty good, I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than these. I really like the perks on my submachine gun, so I'll get rid of all that stuff, I think. Little assault rifle, same deal. Hello, Ron. I know, mate. Hasn't it come a long way? Ron says these Stadia graphics look really good. Oh, mate, I'm sure this would have been on Stadia. I wonder what Stadia would be like 2 years on from its demise. If it had been with anybody other than Google, we probably wouldn't even be asking that question. So this is the way that I clean out my slots. You guys may want to look at this differently. The other thing to bear in mind is, particularly now you come across to reactors and components, your reactor is what gets your skills up, gets your skill levels up. And the external components, you can look at these as armor, really. I don't know why they didn't. They could have done a helmet, and I think this is just a differentiator between them and Destiny and Warframe and the other guys. But that's essentially what these things are. So the thing to bear in mind is that you are going to want to use a reactor that is in tune with your character's skills. Now, this character's skills are very much built around fire, which is that little icon there. So we want to choose a burning reactor, which are the red ones down here. So the first thing I always do when I get any new reactors, well, like I do with everything else, first thing I do is delete the blues. They're of no use to us. There they go. And then I want to have a look at the fire reactors. Oops. There we go. See if anything is better than the one we've got. How do we know? Because those red numbers will be green if it is better than the one that I've got. Now you can improve these by, you can see it's got a little yellow diamond there. You can boost each of these reactors twice, but quite honestly, it's not worth the bother. Unless it's already high. So although the skill power and the sub-attack power are indeed higher than that one, I'll stick with what I've got because the skill powers, when this is equipped, are lower. So we'll burn those, get rid of those, free up the slots. And the thing to watch out is, let's go back to all. So these other ones are, for example, electric for Bunny and for Sharon. And then the green toxins, which I'm using on Freyna. So we have to be careful, because if we were to delete these, they may have been perfect for Freyna. It's a bit of a pain that you have to do this all the time, but it's worth doing. So let's go into our presets. I don't think we've changed anything, but I'm just going to save my current loadout to make sure that I don't wipe it. Do not ignore this presets. This is your loadouts section, and you will start with 4, I believe, maybe 3. And I put all my characters in here, and I set them all up with the loadouts that I want to have as a default, which also means that you can experiment a bit and you can always reset it by coming back here and choosing your character and hitting the key to go back to that character. So let's have a quick look at Bunny, for example. We'll just load. Oops, what was that? Anyway, there's Bunny. We can do this here, and let's have a quick look. She uses electric, so we want to just quickly see any of the new reactors are superior to the one she's got. Let's have a little wander across. Again, I know the top 2 figures are higher. It's the skill power when equipped that I'm interested in. None of these. And also, having said that, the yellow attributes as well. Down the bottom, additional attack when attacking Order of Truth. Not particularly worried about that one. It's very situational. That one takes some of your skill. Not very good. Yeah, so I'm not worried about any of these. That one has a really high skill power, 83 versus 72. But, oh, be careful, don't delete them just yet, because we've still got another electric user, this one. There we go. So let's have a little quick look and see if any of these are better than hers. Bit of a pain that you have to do this, but I have also equally painfully deleted these before, only to find that I deleted a reactor on an existing character. The way now that I get around this is if I'm using a reactor, and indeed mostly external, I favourite them. So I can't accidentally delete them, because you can't delete a favourite until you or deselect it. So Freyna was the only other one. We'll have a quick look at her from the point of view of... I always think these look like cabbages, by the way. Cabbages. Particularly the green ones. Right, so... Now, again, very high skill power. But the skill powers when equipped are lower. So we'll delete that one. Oops. Oops, there it goes. Get rid of it. Coolio, right, good. And then a very quick look at the external doofers. These are carried, I use these on all the same characters. So what I'm looking for in these are max HP, and also if there is an option as a secondary, max def. So this little fella, the support memory, it was too good to pass up. I've got 2 defs, 2 defense attributes, giving it a 2,823 defense, which is pretty darn good. And then this one has a max HP of 187. This one has 2 max HPs. So even if the max HP of a similar support auxiliary power is higher at the top, then the bottom ones don't help. Sanchez says you should do some waves from the kiosk in the tower. They're fun and get very difficult. When you say waves from the kiosk, you're probably talking about special operations, aren't you? And I do those a lot, my friend. That's how I leveled up Sharon in Kingston yesterday. Took her all the way to the final one as well. But as I'm very, very close, hello Sam, how are you? Good to see you, my love. As I'm very, very close to the end of the campaign, I'm sort of concentrating on finishing that at the moment. So let's have a quick look and see if we've got anything new. I'm just going to sort by new. And we know that anything that's kind of around the 80s level is going to be new. If I hit down on the left thumbstick, it will show me the comparison, so I can just quickly whip through. Now, although this one, this actually might be a good one for us here, actually. So this one is a max HP of 176, beg your pardon, with the 306 doubling up. So 3476, whereas this one on the right is 1075 def, and the HP is higher. So I'm actually going to switch that one in. There we go. It's a better one. And then we'll have a look at these little circles, and we're looking again on the left, max HP of 187. So we're looking for a higher max HP. We don't want shield. We'll delete shield. Okay, this one has a higher max HP of 236. The one on the left does have a chill resistance, so you don't want to get rid of it, but this one on the right has an HP recovery modifier, so we'll switch that one across. Very good. And then we'll come down to this one, the final one in our pack. Or two more, sorry. Def 1813 and a 1011. That's 2,824. I think we did mention that earlier, didn't we? This one has a shield. This one has a def. Let's have a look at that def. It has a combined def of 2,870 something. So it's almost the same if you add them together. Let me just do that. Let me just do those maths again in my head, because I think I may have got this wrong. So the one on the left is 2,824. The one on the right is 1,568, 1,800, 1,870, 1,800. It's about the same. It's about the same. However, I am loving the shield recovery in combat. So I'm going to switch that one. See what I was saying earlier? It's all about the maths. It's all about the maths. Sam, I'm going to come to your comments in a second. 1 second there. Then the final one, which is the support processor. Again, we're running with a max HP of 161. So we are looking for an increase. Just want to make sure I didn't miss that one. Max HP 98 def of 2491. That's way better than that one. Right, so max shield, max HP 161. We're looking for a higher max HP. We don't want the shield. We could go for the def. I want the HP. This one has higher HP. And it has a shield recovery modifier. I am going with that one. Def, with a shield, and def with a shield. So just coming back in here, we need to make sure that we save in our preset. So this is Freyna in our loadout. We want to choose Freyna and we want to save that loadout. That is now banked. I have a feeling we should be doing the same with the others as well. So she's a level 40 and I really should be resetting her. Lepic is just about to go around the clock twice. So he's just about to be 40 for the second time, and then I'll be looking to reset him. And Bunny, I reset yesterday. She went round the clock, and she's now about 17, so I could be doing some running around to get her leveled up. So Miss Sam says, oh look, there's Becky. Hello, Becky. Thank you for popping in, my darling. Let's go all the way back up to the chat. Sam says, oh, yep, Sanchez is working on Sharon. She's great. So let me choose Sharon. The thing I love about Sharon, if you are a hunter in Destiny, then you will appreciate Sharon as a character, because just like in Destiny, let me just whip her along here for a bit. Let's get the old, let's find some enemies. She has a brilliant defense mechanism, and she has a brilliant attribute for helping allies with any of your missions. Let's see if we can see if there's anybody else on this map. Oh, there's somebody down there just about to start a mission, that particular mission there. But where are we? Oh, we're there. So we may have just started it, actually. So we go down here with KPN3 Scarl XRD, and we help them shoot stuff. At that point, we will join their mission, which, if we're lucky, was maybe the mission that we needed to be in on anyway. Where did they go? They may not want to do a mission. One thing I would really like is that if you hover over one of those little players there, as well as showing you their details, it'd be really cool if it said what they were doing, which mission they were doing. See, they're around that mission point, which may be that they're indicating to me that they want me to come and join. I've already done that one. I really don't want to do it again for about the third time. The reason that a lot of these people are doing it for the second and third time is they are farming materials. We all get there. We all have to do it. But I don't want to. Anyway, Sharon has this attribute, which I'm just going to show you, which is to go invisible, which is L1 and B. There she goes. She's now completely impervious. The enemies cannot see you. You can run around. You can resurrect your enemies. You can do stuff. It lasts about 8 seconds, but with some buffs, with some mods, you can get that up to about 14 seconds, which means you can even go and do some missions that require... Yes, I know you're after my help, my friend, but I ain't giving it. So Sharon's definitely worth doing, 100%. I know that Phoenix said she's on the third boss, but failed 4 times. More than happy to run that with you, Phoenix. Just add me as a friend. Now you see my invisibility is already regenerated. And look at this, I can run amongst them. They don't know it, and I can hurt them without them even knowing I'm there. Now she's quite, she hasn't got the build of my Lepic. She hasn't got the multiplier on her health, so one shot she was down. I wasn't intending to use her to finish this region, to be fair. She is she requires a bit more work on the mods. Let's have a little look. Let's see what Sam's on the third. She's on the Dead Bride, yeah. So the key with all of these is you want to hit your RK, which on me is the right thumb button, push that down, and that will highlight the blue areas on the boss. Those are the areas that every single boss is the same. Oh, just noticed an echo up there. We'll go and get that. Every boss is the same. They all have these blue elements. You need to, preferably, you need to work together as a team and all shoot the same blue areas. But if you're running it solo, you won't be able to, because they won't hear you. So they'll already be shooting those blue bits independently. But if you can go in there with a couple of people you know, or even just one person, you all focus fire on a blue area, get it to a gold colour, and then you want to get up to it, grapple to it, and hit the R2 to smash it. You do that twice, that will take it off, get rid of all of its blue bits, and its shield will drop down, and then it's just a case of DPS to get them killed. In the meantime, they all have their own attributes. Some will have toxins, some will have heat, some will have electric, and they will do you damage. So you want to make sure before you go in that you put any mods on that are going to give you resistance to those particular attributes. Anything you can find, even if it's only a +6, is going to be helpful. So I would guarantee and recommend that you do that. And you do that in your modules. So you just go down to your Descendant module. Note that you have 3 settings. So you can run with your main one here. But if you click on settings 2, for example, this is one I may have set up for running on a boss. You get 3. See, for example, this one is set for fire resistance. So I've got a maximum fire resistance and a antibody, heat antibody. So switching into this one, I can go in to a Colossus that has heat, or I can switch all these out to electric. And then at any point, I could just go back to my main setting and get my modules in there. In terms of how long have I played this, you asked me earlier, Sam. I genuinely don't know. I'd need to go and have a look. I've played X amount of hours, most of my hours on PlayStation, and about a quarter of my hours on PC, which is what I'm currently playing on. So I would need to go and look on both platforms, Steam and PlayStation, add them together. But my guess is the thick end of 150 hours, maybe. So put quite a few hours in. And to be honest, it's a game that just keeps giving, because you think you've learned everything and then you realise you haven't. So yeah, it just keeps on giving more and more stuff. Okay, Bex, see you in a bit, darling. So essentially, that's me Sharon character. Let's see, everybody's asleep. But look for me, just search for me. Player search Rokk Show, #7149, and send me a friend request. I will add you to my friends list. And if I'm online, you need help with something, give us a shout. Can't promise I'll be much help, but it's better than nothing. And similarly, if I see you. The thing you can't do in Descendant that you can do in Destiny, I can't just jump into your game. You can't do that. You have to invite me, or I have to invite you. Now, if I invite you, you're going to end up coming in to missions that are probably a higher level than you are, in which case it's not going to be beneficial to you, because if I try to take you to an area or a mission that you haven't completed, it won't let you do it. Also, while you're here, have a little looky-poos in the description and you will see that there is a link. I've also got this mentioned. I'm just putting you on a part of the screen that you can read it. Support First Descendant creators. I have registered with Nexon as a creator for Descendant because, like Destiny, I can see me playing this for some time to come, which means that I will be doing content for some time to come. And if you click on that link for free, you can show support for the channel. You just have to register as a supporter. And that support I think you can share it with other supporters. But when you log into the game at certain points, there are events and things that mean you will get rewards. So it's worth it for you. From my point of view, I've not fully grasped the advantage, but I think if you are a supporter and you buy something in a game, I get a couple of pennies from there. So it's definitely worth both of us doing it. And why not? So that's me, Rokk8967, and click on the link in the description. I'm going to try and put that in the link for all the Descendants content that I do, and that's going to be good. Now then, let me just switch to Bunny. There we go. She is in need of some upgrading, and I'll show you, go back to Albion, and I'll show you something that Sanchez mentioned a little while ago. He said go and do the Hordes thing in the kiosk. What he meant was special operations at Albion. A little fun fact. Albion is Old English for England. It is the original Old English name for England. Indeed. I don't know why they chose Albion as the name, but that's what it is. De Varabos took Sanchez 10 attempts. I managed to get it done in 3 yesterday with my little buddy. But you know what? This is what I said to my friend Philip. If you go in and do it, there's a couple of things that are going to happen when you go and do a Colossus. One is that you go in with people that are all doing it for the first time like you, and that is going to be painful. No disrespect to them, but unless you're doing it as a team, if you go in with people that have just got in there for the first or second or fifth time, and you're not communicating, then you're not going to know to focus fire and so on and so forth. So what you want is to go in with people that are farming in there. Why? Well, because they've done it so many times, they know exactly what they need to do. They probably have gone in with an awesome build to get the job done, and all you've got to do is just provide gun support by shooting at the blue things. Secondly, keep well away. Those Colossus are not meant for close quarter combat. They're meant to be battled from a distance unless you've got a really super duper build. So stay at the back of the map. Shoot from a distance. Don't shoot from a distance with a weapon that has a quick drop off, which you can see if we go and have a look at the details of this gun. This is the range on this one. So you can see about 30-40 meters, it drops off and drops down to about 50% damage. So don't go in with a weapon like this submachine gun, which drops off at about 40, but down to, at that point, about 20%. You ain't doing the damage. Go in with a scout rifle, maybe a sniper for some damage, a machine gun, and an assault rifle, pretty good. Choose modules that have the attack build for the... if you go, let's go and have a look, I'll show you. If you have a look at the boss that you're going to go in and fight, so let's have a look at the Dead Bride for Sam, for example. Sam, you'll see over here that its attribute, its main attack, is chill, so she freezes you. But over here we can see that she is incredibly weak to fire. So if you have a character like Lepic or Blair that uses fire, that's going to do some, all of your skill attributes are going to do a lot of damage. But if you don't, like if you have Sharon or Bunny with electric, then make sure that you add fire attributes to your weapons and modules to your character so that you can do fiery damage. And most important, you need to get your resistance up. Now it says it recommends 1600. Good luck with that. The most I can ever get is a couple of hundred resistance. You've really got to major on a build to get that. But look, here's the key thing. All right, here are the destructive bits. So her core, her sensor, and her balancer. These are the bits that are going to glow blue when you hit your RK or your thumbstick. And they're the bits that you want to focus your fire on. If you can do it together, you'll get them down really quickly. These bosses go down the quickest when there's at least 2 people in the same party and they know which bit. But if you're unsure, just look at what everybody else is shooting at and fire at the same thing. And then these are the removable bits, the core and the shoulder. So get those first, fire at those first, whether it's the shoulder or the core with the bride. When that turns yellow, I would wait for somebody else to grapple it if you're fairly new or low build. They can jump in, get in close, grapple it, smash the hell out of it. Once those 2 bits are down, then it's just a case of removing everything else. Well, mainly in this case, her balancings. And you'll get it down in no time. And that's how you do it. That's how you get the bosses down. Some of them are really nasty. The worst one, I think, is Pyromaniac. I haven't got as far as Hanged Man yet, so I don't know how that one is compares to the others. But you will have to do them all again when you are building any of your new characters. There will be, particularly the worst ones, the ultimates, because these ultimates require you to not only do them again, but in some cases do them on hard. So good luck with that. But look, make friends. Find people that are playing the game like you. If you find yourself in a team and you really like the mechanics and they're doing really well, send them a friend request. Run around. If you find yourself in a region, and in that region you've got somebody that's kind of hooked on to you and you're running around doing missions with you, and you know, make friends with them. Join them again when you see them, because this game is far easier when you're playing with other people. Far easier. You've got double Rokk in your ears, have you? What do you mean? Am I echoing? I was told at the very beginning I was echoing, Stu, and I fixed it and was told that I'd fixed it. So my apologies if I've been playing this and doing this entire stream with an echo. But anyway, Stu, have you downloaded it and installed it yet? Because I've been wanting to get in and help you, mate. Geek is here. He has to play the Hangman today. I'm very close to it. Very close to it, Geek. Hey, you never know. We might coincide. I know a lot of people are really, really into this game. I mean, it scratches an itch. Let me just collect these. You need these. I like to pump through the cutscene. You're going to need these if you are upgrading your weapons. I'll show you now how we can do that. Let me see. I actually might be able to add you right now, Geek. Let me just go, because I am on a keyboard. So let me just take over and type. Geek the Sneak. He's a wonderful guy. Oh, hashtag on Windows. Oh, what is it? I'm on a Mac keyboard, but because I'm playing on GeForce. Let me have a look at my Windows keyboard. It's that key. Why doesn't it show it? Let's just put you in as Git Sneak, see if that works. Player cannot be found. Damn. I need to I tell you what. No, it can't do that either. So on my Windows keyboard, it is between those two keys, but on my Mac keyboard, that is not registering. It's showing as a quote. So it's probably an Alt key. Huh. I'm going to have to add you later, my friend. Apologies. Oh, I wonder if I can... No, it's the shield. Yeah. Well, if you get there before me, it's Rokk Show 7149. There he is. Look, there's the young fella. Creator details, ladies and gentlemen. Look, there I am. There's my creator details. So you can visit me and you can support me. And it even says here, I create content for older gamers and lovers of tech. If you're in your 40s or above, this is the creator you've been looking for. Now look, I know none of you are. I know, and I get that. But, I'm trying to build up a niche here, guys. Let me just come out of this. There we are. Right, Geek's going to sort me out. Yeah, I know, but I can't. I'm using a Mac keyboard set up for a MacBook. Unfortunately, Geek, but you can have me, mate. That's all good. Yeah, it is something like that, Stu. But Stu, why haven't you installed it yet? You don't even need to install it, mate. You can just go and play it in the cloud on your Xbox or your PlayStation, and then you can come and play. You'll like it. If you liked Helldivers, you'll love this. Right, so we are going to do one thing and one thing only from this menu. We are 42 and proud. Nothing wrong with it, mate. You are my target audience. I love you for it. As he has a little swig of squash. I am going to level up my 3 main weapons. Let's have a quick look. 78, 83 and 82. So I did these 2 earlier, but I want to level up my Divine Punishment. So the first thing we do is we click on that and we see, oh, look at this. Why is Tamer showing in there? Have I got a new Tamer? I flipping do. I didn't spot that. we got a sneaky new Tamer. Where is it then? Sneaky new Tamer, where are you? I think it's... There it is, look at that. So how does that compare to my existing Tamer? Huh. Well, it's a higher level, but we can feed that back in. What are the stats like? Bonus fire attack against Colossus. Firearm attack is 10. Actually, you know what? This is a better Tamer than I'm running with. Flipping it, Tucker. Right, let's switch it over. Which means we'll take that off there. Excuse me. Switch it. I've got to switch this to make it a hearted one. You can't heart it when it's in the slot. There we go. Now it's hearted. Goodbye, old one. Hang on a minute. Hang on a cotton picking minute. No, it's a standard. Sometimes they have different ammunition. By the way, players have been playing this for a bit. You may or may not have noticed down here that you can change the display of these weapons. So if you're looking at this and thinking, I'm looking for one like it, it's much easier. The downside, you don't get so many on the screen. But that's a really quick way to do a comparison, you see, if that's what you're looking for. So there you go. We don't even need to level this one up. And actually, I quite like... let's have a look. Let's come out of here. Let's go back to the workbench. We can enhance its unique abilities. So, not that one, beg your pardon. This weapon readjustment. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Don't know that I have the materials, but if I go to this, here we go. Yeah, I don't have the control axis. I need to build. This is what I think you're referring to, Geek, when you say re-roll. What you can do is you might go, as I would. I actually quite like that firearm attack, 10%. So I would lock that one. And actually on the old Colossus, that's not too bad. So I could lock that one, but then I still need to build this. Fire attack isn't bad either. So what we could do is we could re-roll that one. But in order to do this anyway, we're going to need to build an adjustment control axis. So what we do is, this is how the entire game works. We go back and see this. She's very sarcastic, this girl. And with a name like Anus, she's got the cheek to be sarcastic. Right, so, So we need to get some materials. We need, where is it? Was it this one? Adjustment control axis, wasn't it? I think it was this one. So we'll build that one. Or it was a phase thing. Let's go and have a look. You're forever building stuff. You're forever building stuff. And I keep forgetting what all those bits are called. It's called a... Wait for it. Adjustment control axis. So it wasn't the thing I was building, but it doesn't matter. I will need it at some point. There we go, Anus. I'm sure she's not called that. I forgot what it was called again. Oh, I'm so useless at this. It was began with an A, I think. I'm sure it began with an A. Descendant material, enhancement material. Oh, that one. Adjustment control axis. Oh, it was that one. I've got to wait 19 minutes. Now, a thing to note when you're in the research institute, that a lot of these materials do have the option to build 2 at a time. However, the second one is at a considerably higher cost than the first. So as you can see, this will require, if I want to do this one again, it's going to require 4,080 of those things, of which I only have 6,510, and it's going to cost 144,000, whereas the first one was 2,000, I believe. So unless you desperately need to, I really wouldn't bother, and I would just happily wait my 19 minutes for that to build. Now I've noticed young Stu has avoided the question several times. I think he's holding out on installing this Phoenix because he feels a level of disloyalty to Helldivers. But you shouldn't do, my friend. It's a free game and you don't have to spend an absolute frickin' penny. I bought the Battle Pass, but something worth noting when you buy the Battle Pass costs about £7. Right. So, it's about the same price as a Fortnite Battle Pass. But here's a thing that you don't always spot when you buy this for the first time. And that is that from the get-go, they give you free in-game currency. So you buy it with in-game currency, about 300, I think it is. Maybe more, I forget now, caliber. But they give you, I forget what it is to buy it. It's maybe 800. Anyway, they give you 25, 50, 75, and on it goes all the way up to about 300. So you get like almost half your money back, which you can then go and buy stuff with. Pretty good. And there's some decent perks. There are things that I really am not happy that I get, like paint. Why? It'd be quite good, wouldn't it, to change the colour of your stuff? Well, it would, except in order to colour in your skins, you have to buy a premium skin. They won't let you colour in your ordinary skin that you can get for nothing, and they won't even let you colour a basic skin which you can purchase from the shop, which I can almost afford. Look at that, I've got 120. Right? So you can't even change the colour of one that you've bought. You have to buy a premium skin before you can change its colour. What a cheek! At least that's my understanding. But so all of the colours that you buy, over here there's a load of them, look. All of these, you're stuffed. How painful is that? How do you re-roll your weapons? Can you do that with mods? Okay, yes you can. The way that you do it with mods, we'll do mods first, Sanchez. It's a bit of a gamble. It's a re-roll, it's an absolute random gamble. But I may as well show you. So what you're looking for is combine modules. All right, you can dismantle your duplicates. That's a good way to get Kuiper. But you can combine them to get a new one. Now, if you combine a blue, you will just get another blue, which, it's okay, I suppose. But from rare up, you have a strong chance of getting an ultimate or even a transcendent when you combine them. So let's go to the ultimates. Here's all my ultimates, and I might, may look at these and go, okay, let's have a look. What have we got here? We got any duplicates? By the way, we will have. Let's have a look. Some of these, by the way, I'm never going to use as well. But we've got a heat incinerator. We've got any other heat incinerators? Bit of a pain, isn't it, sorting them out? Name, there you go, sort by name. There we go. Now we can see if we've got any duplicates. We may not have. I did have earlier. If you've got 4 duplicates and you roll them into here, you have a chance to land a transcendent. And obviously with you, much, much more of a chance that you will have duplicate rares. But you really want 4. So look, we got weak point, quick fire, weak point, quick fire. You don't have to have 4 the same, by the way. But I don't know. I think I've seen a lot of people. Toxic gun barrel, which, by the way, is a pretty good mod. Now you see here, look, we've got different ammo types as well. So one for normal ammo, one for rare, one for special, and so on. So, you know, you want to think twice. Think about what you're breaking up before you break them up, because you may have a need for them. But reload insight, what does that do? Reload modifier. All right, let's do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll combine. It's going to cost 8,000. Let's see if we get a yellow. And the casino says no. We got insight focus. So there you go. I mean, that's probably a good one. You may not have it. Who knows? But that's how you get your re-rolls on your mods. And on your weapons, it's, as we just showed, you need to get one of those accelerator thingy bobs, and then you come over to weapon readjustment. I think that's how we do it. Give it a second to catch up. There we go. You're going to need one of those adjustment control axes, which we are currently building, which is going to take another 15 minutes or thereabouts. And then in here, you can either, once you've got one, for 1,000, readjust the whole darn lot. And it is completely random. You may end up with worse options than you had, so bear that in mind. Or if you like your firearm attack and your fire attack, you can lock them. A and A will lock them. In locking them, though, you need more of these, and it's going to cost you more. So, you know, you pay your money, you get your choice. So I'm going to need another 3 or 4 before I roll that machine gun anyway. I'm not going to bother today. So there you go. Where are we? 20. We've been going for 1 hour and 40. Another quick sip of the old drink. Go to sort my quantity, Rokk. Yeah, you've got to have a look at your... The thing to do is that you're going to need Kuiper for enhancing your modules. So again, we have a look at my Descendant. You'll see that I have maxed increase HP on her. Maxed increased def, and a shock punch, which is a complete waste, to be fair. Let me just set her preset. Who is she again? She's Bunny. Let's just save and bring back Lepic, because he has a better build, in my estimation. So Lepic's Descendant modules, he has 416% max HP, because we have the stim accelerant with the increased HP. Those two combined are giving us 416% HP. Makes him a much more of a tanky character. We still have some space left in the slots to put up to 7. If we go sort by cost, capacity cost, in here we can see what we can get away with slapping in. It'll also depend. See, I could really do with putting one in here with that little arrowhead. So if we choose to sort by Almandine, and we should technically be able to put any of these in there. Let's have a look. Non-attribute or whatever that says. Syncytium. Critical hit resistance, 4%. Non-attribute skill, but not that great. See, that goes in there. Antifreeze solution. So that gives us chill resistance if we were going into the Dead Bride, for example. Heat antibody, tech specialist. So tech skill power modifier, 19%. That's a good one. That gives us an increase of 19% on our tech skills. Skill critical hit rate, skill critical hit damage, skill power 12%. Good on you, Stu. I knew you were holding out for that hell thing. Critical hit resistance and fire skill power. So put it in there, you know. whatever works. The other thing to note as well, if you put a shape, i.e. that icon, with a matching mod slot of the same, it will halve the cost. So it's a 6, we put it in, it's a 3, we've still got 4 left. So if we look at all of our things, all the things, and we have a 4, and as long as it doesn't require a slot, we may be able to add it. There we go. That's really good. That's given us MP recovery as well. So that's a decent little build we've got going on there now with Lepic. And we'll save that down. We'll update our preset. This will always bring you, by the way, big tip, when you're going to do your presets, be careful if you've got more than one, because it always defaults to the first one. I wish it would default to the one you're in, that you've already made that character, but it doesn't. And I have in the past accidentally upgraded over the top of the non-character. So make sure you choose your character, save. There we go. And there's Lepic. Good old Lepic. He's doing all right. He's doing all right as it goes. You don't have to install it though, Stu. You could have just streamed it. I knew training as a priest would come in handy at some point. Throws holy water at Stu to cleanse him. Oh dear. You'll love it, mate. But as I've said at the outset, this is a game that absolutely cries out for team effort. It's not just the fun of running around with your mates and chit-chatting, but you get stuff done so much easier. And if you are, you're unable to play, let's look at the old social here. None of my friends are alive and kicking. So, you could either invite a local one, you can invite a friend you know, or just get hold of them on your Discord or what have you. Say, anybody want to give us a hand with a Colossus or whatever. All of those things as it goes. So I think we'll just do 10 more minutes and then we'll call it, it's a 2-hour show, we'll call it a day. So what I'm going to do is go back to Bunny, and she's already there for us. She is a paltry 17. So to finish up, we'll go and do some leveling up over at the Special Operations Base of Kingston, my favourite one. Zoop. So the great thing about this is a horde mode, by the way, and as you can see, there's about 6 different checkpoints from 1 to 7 and 7 to I think 14 and so on and so forth. You can check out at any point. You won't lose as long as you wait to get to the checkpoint. Speeder on these, my favourite area over here. There she goes. Right, here we go. As long as you check out at the reward section, you will get those rewards. You won't lose them. But the great thing is, whenever you've got a new character or a new build, come in here, do this, because you get the XP of all players. All players, as they shoot stuff, contributes to your XP. That ship is the telltale that you're about to get some enemies. We'll put the old shocker on them. And down they go. Now it is a bit tedious, I am going to warn you. Although in between you can run around and have a look at stuff. But it's a great way to level up. You will watch that 17 and that little white line there going up as we progress in our bunch of hordes. And it will be up to 18, 19, 20 and so on. Hello fellas! I do like Bunny, and the thing with Bunny, and I don't think I've heard it with anything else, she has these little sayings that she says as she wanders around the world. I just noticed that thing down there. I don't know if it's light on that bush or something hidden. I think it's just the lighting. Go back! Don't go in there and attack my friends. Get out of the way! I don't think any of the other characters say things like that. None of the others that I've got do. They say things like, oh, my shield's just broken, that kind of stuff. But they all do that. She's like the comedy character of this game. Also, if you're trying to get your mastery up, the only way you can get your mastery level up, and the advantage of your mastery level going up, is it gives you additional slots for your ammo modules and things, is that the only way to get your mastery up is to level up characters and new weapons. Look at that, we're almost at 18. Takes a lot longer when you're running around doing missions. So just bear that in mind. It will come a time when you think your mastery's not going up, and that's by design, because it gets exponentially harder, and it's encourage you to invest in new weapons and new characters, which is the fun part of the game anyway. There we go, level 18. The higher your level, the stronger your character becomes. So she's what's she there, 4,100 on the old HP. The higher she goes, that's going to increase, and then I'll put my mods, the multiplier mods, on her as well. Have I got a new gun? She's got the old... No, she has the new tamer. That's good. But you see, it's a level 40. Well, that one isn't. Let's go with Albion. Do I look worried, guys? Goodbye. Yeah, so switch to the weapon that hasn't been completely leveled. That's going to help with your mastery leveling. Good on you, Stu. I should be back by then. The next couple of days I'm off to Portsmouth and Bournemouth for my daughter's graduations. Good graduations. Although it's quite sad because they're both on the same day but at different universities, a couple of hours apart, and I can't make both, so we're having to take two cars so that my wife can race off to do one daughter while I hang around to wait for my other daughters to finish, which is I'm gutted about. I'm going to be honest, I am gutted. And then this time next week, on the Wednesday, we fly to Gay Paris for the Olympics. Whoops. I'm using the wrong weapon for levelling my mastery. While all this is going on, by the way, in here is one person over there, another person up there. There is room for one more, but they're not here, so tough on them. Where are we? Wave 3. We get to wave 7 and then we can bail. We will bail. I'll normally go another 2 or 3, but for the sake of the stream, we'll bail at that point. We're already over halfway through level 18. That's how quick it is too. And the reason for maybe getting up to level 20 or something with your character after building them is that's going to unlock all of your attribute skills and give you a little bit more health and shield for getting on with your missions and stuff. I'd like to get them all up to into the 30s before you start another one. How are we doing in here, guys? Need the help? Didn't mean to do that. That was a complete waste. Well, that's a shocker. I'm using a controller, even though I'm playing on a PC. It is most streamers that I've seen, most of the creators prefer a keyboard. It has a very, look at that, 18. It has a very comprehensive keyboard arrangement, but I prefer controller. So there. Watch out for them exploders. There we go. Yeehaw! Thing I did today, coming away from the game while we're doing this, thing I did today was I turned off all the notifications for all of my social apps. I've got to a point where the world is looking pretty nasty right now, and I cannot see a way forward where it ain't going to get a heck of a lot nastier. So I decided, rather than stress myself out on something I really have no control over, I'm just going to put my head in the sand. That's just the way it is. I can't be doing with it. So enough doom scrolling for my own sanity. I have switched off the notifications. And I did it before, just after Brexit, and I'd left it off for quite some time. It definitely helped. And I suspect leading up to November it's going to get quite nasty. So no, I decided, no, I can't control it. There is no point. I don't want to know. I leave that to others. And I am quite worried, I'll be honest with you. Where are we? Wave 4. Still got a couple more to go. We're on level 19. Remember we came at level 17. Wave 5. 2 more after this one. So we should get up to in the 20s. Don't talk to Bob Geldof. We don't share the same politics, believe it or not. Off to Paris next Wednesday, Stu. I believe we fly out. We don't come back until pretty much the middle of August. I think it's a great one for you to stream, Stu. I see a lot of people are really loving Concord as well. I know you weren't a massive lover, but like me, we're not built for PvP, mate. It's not our thing, is it? It's not what we do. Almost at 20. Yeah, oh, there we go, 20. Woohoo! Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The good old call you, eh? So yeah, looking forward to some time away. Things so far this year have been pretty crap. To be honest, I'm hoping things will change direction when I get back. So who knows? The only thing that's been a real bonus this year, apart from Labour winning, has been my my cloned voice, which continues to make me a substantial amount of money for next to Zippo effort. Well, none at all. Other than that, yeah, it ain't been a great year. This is the PvE game that you seek, Stu. And the only thing I would say is, go back and watch this one from the start. It's only 2 hours. There's some fundamental stuff. Like, the game does a reasonable job of giving you a bit of an idea of what's going on, but there is so much to this game, which you don't need to know all at once. I mean, it's taken me 2 weeks, and I'm still learning stuff. I would want to say I'm completely up on everything. This is because I abandoned my post. I've only got myself to blame. So Bunny is one of the characters that you get to choose at the beginning. I would definitely... No, actually, am I right in saying Bunny's one of the characters? I don't think she is. She was a character that you could choose in the beta, but you do get to build her as part of the mission, part of the campaign. She has that amazing skill, one of being able to run at a ridiculous pace, but equally this electric shock thing. She just has to run amongst the enemies, right? And next, this is the last wave, and then we get our rewards, which will probably be gold. She's still shocking them here. So I was pointing out to my daughter, because she likes these games, but she's no good at firing. She's never got the whole aim down the sights thing. And I said, well, you could be Bunny, because you don't need to do you don't need to shoot a gun. You just have to run around the enemies with your electric shock on, shocking the heck out of them. There's other descendants with similar skills. I think it's Frasier. There's one of them. No, there's one that's water, and I think she flies around, drowning them all. She does a similar thing. The fact that these are running back in here indicates they're losing control of the enemies here. They're getting the better of our friends. It's alright, we're near the end, 56 seconds left, and then we get our rewards. And we've taken her up to 21. I don't think we'll get to 22, given the how close we are to the end of this wave. Sorry this is making you a little teensy bit motion sick. I personally love the whole speeding around thing, but I know some people it's like, oh, I can't do it. Whoops, ran out of steam. I'd love to get it to 22 before we get to those 20 seconds left. Well, I don't think it's going to happen. We could go on to 10, I think, the next one. And I do with when I've leveled my other characters. I spend ages in here. It's quite therapeutic. Horde moding that. Oh, we might do it. No, look at that. We were right there. Flipping heck. We got 19,000 gold. We're going to bail out at this point. But we're very, very close. Just do another little couple of seconds on there. Oh, Glay is good. Yeah, I love a bit of Glay. Glay was one of the characters that I was going to build next. There's something that I'm sure you know this, Geek, but I'll just show the other folk. People don't always spot this. All right, we're gonna. So there we go. We got ourselves. Look at the white additional mastery there. When we switched over to Albion, we got some shards and bits and pieces. So we are going to go back to Albion. I'm just going to show you something very quickly. When you come to build your initial first or second descendants, beyond the ones that you've got, most of them require, let me just get out of this bunch because they'll be spawning in and doing their spawny thing. Valby, Bunny vs Sharon and Freyna. So I've got Sharon, Freyna, Bunny and Lapik. Just working on Blair at the moment. So, a thing worth spotting, new folk that are looking to do, is most of the characters, right, they all have these four major components, okay? And most of them, if I click, no, he's not a good example. Let's go to Bunny. Oh, neither is she. Jaber. Yeah, here we go. So most of them, in order to fashion or research this module, you need to farm all of these bits, 4 bits, so that you have sufficient of them in order to fashion or research this module, which means that building somebody like Jaber, who, look, summons turrets for assault, pretty cool, is going to require a lot of farming. However, some of the characters, like Blair, don't. You just have to find these 4, and typically it requires doing a mission over and over again. And we'll see here that the Blair enhanced cell, which is the bit that we need, is a 20% chance of a drop. Now, it is random, so it might take you 5 runs, it might take you 1 run, or it might take you 500. I can assure you, I have spent hours and hours and hours running that one and another one, and I cannot get that one and that one to drop. But I do think if you're looking to build a second character, that it makes sense to go for one like Bunny, where you don't have to farm everything else. You just have to do those 4 odds and sods. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is us. That's a couple of hours of Descendant. Just a quick reminder, I am a registered creator with the developer Nexon, so if you click the link in the description, you can show your support, and that counts as a little point in my card. I know some of the creators on there have got thousands of supporters, but they started with 230 odd thousand subscribers, so I'm never going to be up there in the top 10 popularity charts, but it'd be nice, a little bit of support if you don't mind. We're going to just pick up this from Anus. Here it is, the adjustment control axis. If you remember, we needed this to roll the stats on the new tamer. But I'm not going to use it, guys, because I actually want to lock in some of the stats that we already have on that gun. Doopy doopy doop. I think 10% is pretty good on that. So I would want to lock that one, and then we do still have enough. Ooh. Well, let's lock those 2. Now they'll be run out. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, let's go. Orange Jesus. What has it given us? Oh, I preferred my previous ones. Let's do it again. Not happy. Okay. We've now got 2,500 bonus fire attack on a Colossus. We have got weak point damage. This is a real Colossus killer. And it's taken down recoil, but not by much, 0.0 something of a percentage. But I can live with that. I'm not going to mess about anymore. We could keep going on that one. I did some rolls on my Thunder Cage, and I got some quite nice stuff. So, it's all a bit random. Anus for me. Well, you can pronounce it how you like. I'm sure it's Anus. But I find her quite sarcastic, so I call her Anus. And so she is. Guys, Anise. Oh, you pronounce it how you want, mate. Anise, whatever. I call her Anus because of her sarcasm. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I do try, every time I play this game, to share some of the stuff that I've learned along the way. Even for seasoned pros, there may be some stuff that is new to you. So I hope I've done that. As Sam says, Phoenix says that is the case. Always playing with a Korean voiceover. Geek, you're out there, mate. You're in another league. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, show some support, click on that link, and while you're on your way out, they're there anyway, you might as well click on the like. It won't hurt, will it? That's it. I'm going to have some dinner. I will not be seeing you guys again, maybe at the weekend. I might do some more at the weekend. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Thank you so much for joining me. I've been Rokk, you've been awesome, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Take care.